So I should have took a before picture. This was an old bathroom, so that was like the toilet and the sink. So we decided to turn this into a pantry slash butler's pantry. So we're going to make some shelves. We actually have some 5-gallon buckets that we put beans and rice and flour and stuff in. So we want the bottom shelf far enough off the ground that we can get our buckets under there. And then we have this fuse box that we have to work around as well. And we already moved the light. The light used to be on the wall over there, and we moved it and moved the switch. So now we're just going to go in the shelves. So what we decided to do to make things kind of work out, because of where our studs are, we are going to have one shelf that comes from here to the corner, and that's going to be 17 by 38. And then the next shelf will butt up against it, and it will run from here to the opposite wall, and that will be 17 by 48 inches. We're going to end up with 4 shelves. The first one's going to be 18 inches off the floor, which comes to here. Then we're going to go 34 inches, which comes to the bottom of this. Then we're going to hit one at 50 inches, one at 66 inches, and again, that will leave from 66 inches to the bottom of the previous existing shelves. So yeah, we're going to have 4 shelves that are going to be L-shaped. They're going to come from the corner and wrap around to this wall over here. And then we'll have from about here at 17 inches to the doorway where I can have some hooks to hang up wreaths and different things like that that we store out here as well. But this will leave us enough room for like our Instapot, our crock pots. So we are squaring up the piece since it's a used piece, and we're coming down 48 inches because our shelf is 48 inches long by 17 inches wide.
So now we need to cut pieces that go along here to support this, so that when we get a bunch of weight on this shelf, it won't bow down. So we're going to cut some 2x4s, strip some 2x4s down, and then line this so each shelf will have supports.
So we have, what, 6 shelves made out of plywood and 2 made out of OSB because we didn't have a second sheet of plywood. So he's just going to split these 2x4s. So now we're working on the support beams and cutting them to length. So we got the 2 piles, 48 and the 38.
Alright, essentially what we're going to be doing is putting these pieces on the backs of these shelves so that they are supported and they don't bow down. So I'll probably place these shelves on the ground with these pieces underneath, and then I'm going to use this stapler to at least initially attach them. I might put a few screws in afterwards, but this is really fun to use and it's fast. This is a really cheap brand from Menards, but it's been working really well for my projects. So we're just going to initially get them tacked on with this stapler.
Since you did slice your 2x4s in half, obviously one side's a little thicker than the other side. They're not square, so make sure you have the same.
I'm just using the part I didn't cut on, so it's straight and it's flush on this. That's all I'm doing. Oh yeah. Fun begins. Just initially put all these pieces on, which is the length, and then I'll come back in and measure my pieces that go in between.
So now we're starting on the longer pieces, doing the exact same thing, putting the support pieces on the front and the backs of what will be the shelves.
Is this how your work area looks when you're working on stuff? Yeah, I'm not the most organized. Anyway, I got the 8 shelves built. 48-inch shelves, 38-inch shelves, 17 inches wide. But I'm out of time today and I gotta get to work, so I'm about to finish this up tomorrow. All right, to explain what, we kind of ran into some issues. There was a hole in the wall right here where something had punched through the wall. So I cut it out so it's a rectangle so I can patch it here. And then there was a full heater base here with like a 220 heater at some point, and so I'm gonna put a patch in there as well before we get everything done. We're thinking about even replacing the floor because it's ugly and doesn't even go all the way to the very edge some places.
But it does have gold speckles in it if you can see it. Pink and gray with gold specks.
Pretty nice. So now's the time to do these changes rather than put a bunch of shelves in here and then try to come back later and fix these issues. So I'm gonna patch these up and do some mud these little nail holes and stuff up so that it looks nice.
So what did you do? So, because there was still power to the heat.
Yeah, there was power. These wires were live, so we had to go over here and go take this cover off here. We can go in and find out where the wires were that went to here and disconnect them.
11 by 13.
5 1/4 by 6 3/4.
So I missed this stuffing of the insulation, but there is insulation back there now.
So we're installing this board back here so we have some support for the patch that goes on here.
All right, so we've let the mud dry and now it's sanding time. He actually filled in a bunch of the holes from previous shelves and different things like that. He filled in the hole where the space heater was, the wall heater, and where we actually had a hole in the wall. If you remember, he leaned too hard right here and popped a hole here too, because this is just pretty thin stuff. I should have went and got some flooring, and I didn't get that done yesterday, but we are going to put down some flooring and cover up like where the toilet was. We cannot remove the water line. There's actually water in there and we don't know where it ties into, so we're not going to mess with that, so that will stay.
Yes, knocking down the highest stuff. Less sanding that way. Feathering it in, feathering it in. So we decided that since we're working on the walls and the flooring is pretty bad shape, that we would just replace the floor where we put all the shelves and stuff in. So I'm going to tear the trim out, this old beautiful speckled flooring out, and then put some new stuff in. I might actually lay a piece of underlayment down just so, this is solid steel, this flange for the toilet. The old toilet was in here and I don't know if I want to tear all that out. It might be a lot more work than it's worth. And this here has still got water pressure, so we definitely have to go around that. So I thought about just putting another piece of underlayment down or something to raise the height a little bit more flush with this, and then put the new vinyl down that we're going to get.
Shoot that carpet up, you can really smell the old. You want to say what you did?
What I did.
What you done so far?
Yeah, I already explained it some. So because of this flange being above the floor level, anything we sit on the bottom of the floor, underneath the shelving unit, will be dealing with this. So we went ahead and added about a 1/2 inch OSB. We're going to add it to the floor and then put the linoleum on top of it, or the vinyl. To get this last piece in here, I'm going to have to cut the bottom of this trim off so it will slide underneath there. So I got it laid in. I got some, obviously, as you can see on the top here, because it flipped under. If you want, you can go get like a pizza roller and just try to roll all this out. That will be good to make sure it's all flat. I want to get this first shelf leveled and stuff because we're going to go off of it for the other ones.
We're kind of sinking it. Is it still?
Oh yeah.
Will it slide out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to level this up. Man, I cannot see that level hardly. The bubble, I hate this level.
I can see it. Shelf number 4 is giving us a tad bit of problems. The walls get tighter as you go up higher, and they get tighter as you go towards like the back corner. So Russ has been taking them out, trimming them off.
A little bit more.
That fits good. Need me to hold it?
These.
Wow, that looks awesome.
Huh?
Looks awesome. Don't you think? I'm so excited. And we're level all the way across. Okay.
Level?
Yep. So here's what we have so far. The flooring's in, first shelf, second shelf, third shelf, and he's working on the fourth, and then the fifth one is the one that was already pre-existing that we're leaving. But look at all that room. Perfect. Love, love, love it. Girls, if you don't have yourself a handyman husband, you're missing out. So in case you can't tell, he notched it out right here where my finger's sitting, because that is where our wire goes to our light. So he has to notch that out. So he just took it and notched it out. And this is the part I can't hardly help on because the shelf is taller than me. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be nice.
I do too. You want to tell them what we're gonna do next?
Okay, so we got the shelves in the back, we got them hooked to the studs, and in the front we got hooked to the studs where we can on the end pieces, but our studs are out here. So we need some good support across on these, the length of the shelf. So we're gonna put a stud here, and some pieces in between here. And then that should be plenty of support.
They're really solid the way they are.
Yeah, they
we're
almost
not
probably
going to
could-
take any chances with them.
Board for here.
So what are you marking right now?
Where I'm gonna cut out this stud so it can kind of fit into these corners better. Okay, we don't want a lot of, we don't want to lose a lot of this, so we're just gonna maybe make this like about a little over 1/4 inch, maybe like 3/8. That's how deep we're gonna cut this. And notch them all out like that.
So in case you're wondering what he's doing, he is making little slices along.
You can take, a hammer and chisel and get rid of them too if you don't feel comfortable using that saw like that. You can even take a wood chisel and make it really nice if you want. I prefer the saw, but
You're the work smarter, not harder method.
dangerous one.
So he's just going through pre-drilling the holes so that when he goes to screw in the screws, everything will work. So,
What do you think?
that's pretty stable.
I don't think I'm going to put anything over here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put screws in the ends. That's all I'm going to do. So we'll just do that one and then this here. Just so you
When
know,
you do
nothing.
push on there, it does move a little bit.
What does?
The shelf.
I mean, because it's wood.
Well, okay.
It's not gonna go nowhere.
So he decided to go ahead and we tucked the vinyl, linoleum, whatever you want to call it, underneath the kick plate. And he's just putting the old kick plate back. So this is what he has so far. He's just putting those thin pieces of wood in there to add extra support.
And getting that closet empty for this closet.
Moving some of the stuff up here, right?
Yep.
Here.